train insane or remain the same. This is a phrase I'm sure you've heard plenty of times, and there is some truth in it. If you train smart and you train hard, then you'll get better. But if you only go hard all of the time, then you're bound to run into trouble. Trust me, I've been there a few times. I've been injured 3 times, twice during 2020 and once just this past summer in 2024. I understand the want and desire to push yourself and push through pain, but sometimes you have pain for a reason. So if you or someone you know is suffering from an injury from working out, whether it be running related or not, or you think you might be feeling one develop, be sure to watch this video or send this to that friend. But wait, before we get into a video, a little update about my training for getting in the top 50 at Boston. This week it's been pretty good. I've ran like 76 or so miles, and I did some pretty solid workouts. On Tuesday I did a 5-mile tempo/threshold workout. I was kind of dying at the end, but it was good. On Friday I did a nice 5K pace workout that felt really good. Probably maybe in sub 16 shape. We'll see at the turkey trot. Look out for a video about that soon. And today Sunday I just did a 15-mile long run. So yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling pretty fit, a lot better than I was just even a few weeks ago. And yeah, I'm ready to go and kill it at Boston. But anyway, let's get back into the video. There are a few ways to tell if pain is good or bad. Good pain is like the fatigue you feel after running really fast or for a really long time. For instance, if you're running an 800 and you're running it correctly, you should be feeling a burning sensation in your legs and really all over your body near the end. This feeling is the buildup of lactic acid that your body uses for anaerobic respiration. Or in other words, the energy method you use when you're moving fast. This is a good form of pain because it comes completely naturally, and you're meant to feel this, and it means that you are working hard and smart. Conversely, bad pain is a stabbing or really intense burning in an area you aren't familiar with, and usually doesn't feel right. For instance, if you're running a hard workout and you start having a really intense or uncomfortable sensation in your calf, especially if the pain is isolated just to there, that's a really clear indication of an injury forming. Another indication is if the pain you're experiencing persists even after you finish your run or your workout. Let's say this workout where you hurt your calf hurt on a Monday, and if your calf is still hurting on like Thursday, then you're probably experiencing an injury. Now this isn't always the case, as you could just have extremely tight muscles, but even that isn't a good sign because it could mean your muscles are weak, which, guess what, could lead to an injury. If this is something you are currently experiencing, your best bet, as much as you probably don't want to, should be to stop running for a couple days. Get some cross training on the bike or in the pool, and do some stretching or strengthening exercises. It'd be even better if you're able to get access to a physical therapist, and they can help you more properly diagnose and treat your potential injury. Now, this might cost a fair chunk of change, but if you are willing to drop a couple $100s on super shoes, wouldn't it make sense to drop a similar amount of money to be able to race in them? Now, the best way to recover from an injury is to not get one in the first place. I mean, it's pretty true if you don't think about it. But basically what I'm getting at is that instead of getting an injury and rehabbing it, you can not get the injury through prehabbing it. Prehabbing is pretty much implementing things into your routine and employing smart training techniques to not end up getting injured in the first place. So some of the prehabbing things you can add into your routine are stretching, both dynamic and static, strength training, and doing core. So long as you implement all these things into your life, I almost guarantee you will be a lot less injured and injury prone. For dynamic stretching, these are things like line drills, like butt kicks and high knees and that kind of stuff, and also leg swings. And you don't necessarily need to do these before every run, but I highly recommend doing them before workouts. It's always good to have a warm-up routine before workouts and races to make sure you're ready to go and that you won't get hurt. Static stretches are somewhat controversial, but I believe they're good for you, at least in, small amounts. I recommend occasionally doing static stretches, maybe during your strength training, to make sure your muscles aren't too tight. but don't overdo it, as you could run the risk of overstretching your muscles. Finally, strength training and core exercises really go together, as they improve, the strength of your muscles, and they make them less susceptible to tearing and injury. I recommend doing strength training and core at least twice a week, and doing things like Bulgarian split squats, calf raises, and other leg focused exercises to help strengthen the muscles that you use every day as a runner. And a little side note, if you'd like me to make a video about a good strength training and core routine, just let me know in the comments below. Another part of prehabbing is employing smart training techniques, and a good rule of thumb, which I learned from my high school cross-country coach, is to avoid the terrible twos, those being too much, too fast, and too soon. So basically, don't jump from running 20 miles a week to 60 miles a week, and don't do your workouts faster than you should. But what if you are injured? What if you forget the terrible twos and went from running 50 miles a week to 90 miles a week, and somehow end up getting injured? Well, first of all, I feel for you. Being injured sucks and can be a real downer. The best advice I can give for that is to just keep your head up and keep training smart, and eventually you'll get back to where you were and even better. It just takes a bit of time. I'm in the middle of this process myself, and while I'm happy to be more fit than what I was a few months ago, it still lingers in the back of my mind that I'm still not the most fit that I've ever been. But I know for a fact, as long as I keep grinding and keep being smart about it, that I will be the most fit I've ever been. Now, the best course of action to take when you're injured is to first identify and confirm the injury. The best way to do this is by going and seeing some sort of medical professional, such as a physical therapist, who can diagnose you and give you proper treatment options. Identifying the injury is a very important step, because you want to make sure you are actually doing the exercises and strengthening the muscles necessary to help fix the injury, instead of wasting your time doing stuff that won't, or even doing the opposite of what you need to do. And now you don't necessarily need to go to a physical therapist if you know exactly what the injury is, but if you're even the slightest bit uncertain, it is best if you just go to the physical therapist. And remember how I mentioned I've been injured from running 3 times at the beginning of this video? Now, I'm still not entirely sure what happened to me, but the first time I got injured, I was doing a 400 meter time trial for track, and all of a sudden I heard a pop in my right leg, and it started hurting really bad. And I jogged it in, and I planned on going and getting it checked out. But that same very day, the world shut down due to COVID. So to this very day, I do not have any clue what happened to me, and I was never able to properly treat it, and I was kind of stuck with it for a while, and this left me injured for months, and it might have caused my next injury. Next up, you want to make sure you rest. Rest is extremely important in the healing process. You want to make sure you get plenty of sleep, and I'm talking like bare minimum 8 hours. But the more, the better. Your body heals itself a lot during sleep, and if you're lacking in it, then your body won't be healing as much as it could. And you also want to make sure that you're intaking plenty of protein. Protein is the way your body repairs damaged muscles, and the more you have of it, the better. So be sure to eat lots of chicken, beans, and protein powder, and all that other yummy, delicious protein. The second time I got injured was a few months after my first injury during cross-country season in 2020. My piriformis was giving me problems, and my theory is because of the first injury I got. However, because my team needed me, I powered through, running off of mostly hopes and dreams, and also a lot of painkillers. But after the season ended, I didn't rest much at all, staying up late playing Minecraft, and even training to run a 20-mile trail race a few months later. I ran that trail race, and afterwards, I was hobbling around and struggling for months afterwards because I did not rest. I could have easily decreased the recovery time of that particular injury if I had just gone for a rest. Finally, if you want to maintain your fitness, you must cross-train hard. Alright, whether it be biking, elliptical, swimming, or any other form of cardio that doesn't use your injured area. If you don't cross-train and just decide to be sedentary and do nothing, or only half-ass your cross-training, you will never inevitably be worse off because of it. When I got my third, and so far final, running injury of perennial tendonitis, horrible thing, over the summer of this year, I did cross-train quite a bit, but I didn't do it to the extent that I should have. And my fitness is almost in every metric lower than it was in the summer before I got injured. If I had cross-trained harder, done more biking, more swimming, more elliptical, I could have maintained my fitness more so than I did. So I hope that through watching this video you can get a better grasp of how to deal with and ultimately how to prevent injuries from running. You can now prehab effectively and prevent yourself from getting injuries in the first place. And if you sadly are injured, hopefully you've learned a few tips on how to minimize the damage of and quickly recover from this injury. If you've had or are currently experiencing an injury, leave it in the comments below and say how you dealt with it or how you're dealing with it, and maybe others in the comments can help you out or learn from what you're going through. But that's all from me. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.